Yo, 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 we are back with another The Racing Thoughts podcast with your boy AeroGant, that be me. I'm here with two of my nearest, dearest, ebony and ivory, light skin and dark skin, evil versus greatness or goodness. Always bet on black versus some white people age different. I don't know. I ain't got nothing else. We got my boy Team Chaos. I guess that's what we're doing. Charles Ryan, head coach of. Nah, I'm playing.
No, sir. No,
Head
sir.
coach of your very own Cal Bears, and we got the undisputed era, Lamont Johnson, head coach of Johnson T. Smith. What's up, fellas?
What's up is I want to be very, very clear.
A long time coming.
You cannot promote me to positions I don't have.
I'm sorry.
Serve at the pleasure of Miss Robin Johnson. I'm the assistant, but I'm happy.
I'm sorry about that. That's my bad. I got a little excited.
It's okay.
A little excited. The pre-show had me going. We just started the show. My bad. You know, we can start again. I'll do it all over.
No, we good.
You sure?
All right. I'm sure.
Okay.
But I like
just in
job.
case. We can go over your bio. I mean, we put you up right here. we put you right here. We don't want
all of that.
No mistakes. All of that.
No, all
14
of that
conference championships. 60 NC. Well, hold on, my bad. 60 NCAA All-Americans. 53 individual conference champion. 2013. Way too many letters. Coach of the year. 2017. A few less letters. World Indoor silver medal. 2 NCAA championships. Assistant coach of the Cal Bears, Mr. Charles Ryan. Clap it up, Mr. Charles Ryan. There you go. And my guy down low. Pause.
What?
Nah, you at the bottom. That's what I mean. Bottom. You at the bottom. Down low. Don't get fired.
Yeah.
Coach Lamont Johnson from Johnson T. Smith. All of that stuff, the LBC, and Iowa State alum, head coach at Johnson T. Smith, 2-time national champion assistant coach, over 30 All-Americans, way too many letters in that, too. And he's tech certified. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Ran out of characters, man.
And he's tech certified.
Listen, in the industry, that's our coaches association. In the industry, we just call that the alphabet crew. Because as you say, it's way too many damn letters.
Like, yo, I done ran out of characters. What's up, fellas? This is a long time coming. I've been meaning to have you on one of my iterations of a podcast for a long time. And finally, I do stuff my way. And when I want to have people on, I bring them on. So glad to have you aboard.
Well, we appreciate the invite. At least I do. I don't know about, my man down there. He bougie these days, so he might.
All right, let's just clear the air. These two know each other very well, very well.
Yes, yes. I worked for the man up there.
You over there?
Yeah,
you over there?
He's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, work for the guy over here.
We in the upside down. Things work a little different over here.
Right. So, and we've known each other previously before that, so contrary to what people think, man, he's a good dude. Like, he's a really, really good guy.
Yeah, we gonna
don't let the whole things that he does on Facebook fool y'all. He's really a good dude when he wants to be.
This is a setup. Look, we gonna get into all that. But I wanted to. Both of you guys have podcasts of your own, right? Now, I've never been invited on either one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, there's reasons for that.
I mean, talk about that.
We have a different standard.
What the fuck? Hold on, wait. I need you to rephrase that.
Our podcast, Athletics LLC, is basically a podcast for track and field nerds and geeks and fans. We know you are a fan, but
I am a fan, and I was fast in 5th grade. Like, I was fast.
I kind of loosely remember that because I've known you longer than I've known Mr. Undisputed Era here. You is fast.
I'll say this: I wasn't like no in 5th grade. I was fast.
Oh, okay.
I was killing motherfuckers in 5th grade. A little bit after that, I was like not slow.
You were tall.
Man, they don't even need to know all that. I'm in the box right now. Nobody needs to know my height. Back in the day, hold on. Let's get to the bottom of this. Back in the day, I was not slow. I was close to fast. If I would have kept running, I would have been faster. But them streets caught up with me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I'm saying. Okay, here's a question to y'all. Since y'all don't want to,
for now,
you don't want to co-sign what I'm going. When did y'all know y'all were fast? Because you guys are former athletes. Both of you ran track in college.
Yeah.
On D1-ish scholarships, right?
Ish.
Yes.
No. Well, yeah, ish for ish.
Please, I was on good bread.
Okay. You were professional. He was professional.
I was on good money in college.
Okay, so when did y'all know you were fast? Like elementary school? Were you beating everybody on the playground, or did it come a little bit later than that?
I'll be honest with you. I realized I was fast when the ATF rated my projects and we all ran. I mean, we was in the basketball court playing. Seriously, like that's a real story. Like
the ATF raided the basketball court.
They raided the neighborhood, but they came to the basketball court. Right in the middle of the projects, and they just swarmed everyone. They know who they was looking for, but
Lamont.
I'm like 11, 12.
He's from New York.
I'm 11, 12 years old, and all I see everybody else run. I took off, and people was like, "Yo, Lamont, you was gone." Like, wow. And then the older dudes, they would treat us like we was like thoroughbreds. Like, yo, I put this amount of money on my little man right here that he could beat your guy to the stop sign.
Okay, I thought you was like running numbers or something like.
Oh no,
you from like the 70s? He was like, hey, little man, go up there and run me these numbers to the bodega. Because you're from New York, right?
Yes.
New York, Chuck or Charles. What are we going with?
Man, you know my name. Boy.
I know you, but you got the tie on. You very professional today.
Hey, listen. you wanted the podcast persona, so here it is.
Okay, well, a little peek behind the curtain because that's what we like to do on this show. Before the podcast started, we were doing a pre-show. Chuck jumped in the bed with like pajama pants on and like a t-shirt, and I was like, "Yo, I've seen your show. On your show, you either have a bow tie on or a necktie."
Yes.
He was like, I need that guy. You can't just come. This ain't the show where you wear your shoes in the house. You got to take your shoes off at the door in this podcast. It's fine establishment over
here. The LLC determined that I was the pretty boy on the show, and therefore, this is how I come to work for the podcast.
AKA.
I mean, that's what they
light
said.
Skin, AKA updo.
Sir, you know better. There's no do. This is just how it is. Mixed baby magic,
Magic.
It is what it is.
Right. So Mr. PR Vegan says Aero was the fastest mile in high school, and that is close to accurate, but not accurate. I was the fastest in basketball conditioning. Like I would murder them boys out there. I was trying to get done.
Well, to answer your question, sir, I first knew I was fast basically forever. Every sport I did, that was just the reality of the teams I was on. So, what, 4 years old, maybe?
You was fast at 4 years old? 4?
I was the fastest on the T-ball. I was the fastest in the Pop Warner. I was the fastest.
Like, who was you racing at 4? You was playing football at 4?
No, sir. I said T-ball.
Okay, my bad. T-ball. All right. Well, we all fast here tonight. God damn it, we all fast. This is a track podcast tonight, and we are all fast.
Right on time with the trials start.
That's why I wanted to have y'all on, because I'm a man who knows what's going on in the world. I like to keep up with the current events, and what we got coming up. What, this weekend? We got the U.S. Olympic team trials. Look at that. Wow. God working. I'm prepared. I did a little show prep. June 18th through 27th. If you need more information, go to tracktown20.com.
Look at you. Look at you, son.
Hey.
Professional.
Hey,
You do better promo than USATF. I like it.
You know.
Yeah, for real.
But that's what I wanted to get into with you, because like I like watching track. If it's on and I can find it, I'm watching. The problem is I can't find it. Where is it? Like, okay, so the trials are coming up. These are the Olympic trials. The Olympics are what, next month?
Yes, they start.
In the next month.
I haven't seen an NBC promo. I turned to the Olympic channel. They always got Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes singing "Oh, if you want to order this video, it's restored and you can see the Blue Notes singing." They never got Olympic stuff on the Olympic channel. It's always paid programming.
All right, so I'll give you a short breakdown of kind of how bad we are at this. First of all, just American culture in general doesn't care very much about our sport. We are more into ball sports, and that's just the reality of sports in this country. The Europeans do a great job of promoting the sport. The Caribbeans do a great job.
Right.
Here, the NBC is broadcasting the trials, and they've run their promos. They've had their little, nuggets throughout the year. But if you're not really into it, you wouldn't notice most of that. Almost all the collegiate meets these days are being broadcast on ESPN, and that relationship has grown a lot over the past 5 to 10 years. They're doing a much better job with featuring, what we do on television. The NCAA championships were broadcast live last week, Wednesday through Saturday on ESPN2 and ESPNU and all of that. And throughout the year, most of the stuff you got to find, if you really want to find it, you got to find the live stream events. Live track and field is hard to come by, but all of the Olympic trials will be televised. NBC, they got the whole all-star crew out there featuring Otto Bolden and whatnot. So it'll be on. You can't miss that.
Lamont, what's the problem?
Yeah. The problem, like Charles said, the problem is the United States is a ball type of country, man. Like, they like to see violence. Track and field doesn't give them violence. Like, they want to see people crashing into one another. That's why football and NASCAR are so big in this country, amongst other sports. But to find the track meets, man, it's you have to go to the streaming networks like Peacock. You can go to their streaming network. You can see all the meets. The Olympic Channel, NBC Sports, ESPN. Every now and then will show a track meet. That's not collegiate. So it's out there, but like Charles said, man, overseas, track meets is like football games over here. So, it's just what's the word the word I'm looking for? They use it in business. Supply and demand. The supply and demand thing, and nobody's demanding the supply, so you're not going to get it as much as you really want. So,
and this is a point of contention in our business, right? Because the fact of the matter is, like, this year, because of COVID and the shutdowns and all this stuff, that there's been a professional track and field series circuit in the United States this year. It's called ATL series, the American Track League, that Paul Doyle is responsible for putting on.
Right.
He's done a great job. It's been great PR. It's been great TV. But again, we're catering to a very niche audience. And part of the problem is there's been a big point of contention this year. Like, everybody talks about, well, how can we grow the sport? How can we do this? How can we do that? For whatever reason, we go about this poorly. Like, the biggest thing that you probably remember in track and field so far this year is DK Metcalf ran in the track meet. And everybody was like, oh my God, look how fast DK Metcalf is. And respectfully,
DK fast.
Nice dude.
Fast.
He's not at all. Not even a little bit. Okay.
Man, but what do y'all know? Y'all said I'm not fast. What the fuck?
Exactly. We know better. So, like, the idea
sound like a hater to me.
The idea that our sport needed to, I'm trying to say it in a respectful way, clout chase the NFL to get attention on us is ridiculous. No one else would do that. So, I think the smart thing to do, and I've been telling people this for years, is cater to the audience that you have. Play to your base. Your whatever eyes came to the TV to watch that whole DK fiasco, all that did was promote DK. That raised his star. And what ended up happening is all the world-class performances that actually went on that day got ignored. He sucked all the oxygen out the room. That's not his fault. He doing what he do. But after a world-class track meet, we shouldn't be talking about a dude who came in last in his section, couldn't make a final. That was 5 days of media coverage. How fast is DK?
Yeah, the way it was covered, that was the final.
We legitimately,
I still don't know who won.
we legitimately disregarded a young girl who, had the wind been at her back and not in her face, would have ran the time that most collegiate men can't run.
True.
And
all right, you got to shout her out because this is not the track podcast.
Her name is Sha'Carri Richardson. She's currently at the Olympic track. Sha'Carri Richardson. Sha'Carri. My bad. Sha'Carri Richardson. She had you flipped that wind around, and for everyone who is the wind junkies and the mathematicians, when there's a calculator on the internet that you can punch in her time and the direction of the wind and the location of the meet, it came up to 10:59. So you're talking about a woman that can apply the same amount of force to the track as some freshmen and sophomores in college, men, and it got overshadowed. Like people just completely just disregarded it. Like Edwin Moses, stadium record that stood for God knows how many years got shattered by arguably soon to be one of the greatest 400 hurdlers ever in the sport, and that got overshadowed. So even though I give Metcalf all the props in the world to come out there, I felt that it did a disservice to the ones who bust their butts to get to where they are, and his star rose. I mean, this man got commercials upon commercials that we ain't never seen him get before. I mean, he's okay. I mean, not okay. He's good in the NFL, but he ain't no Travis Kelce.
Commercials is just starting. They
right.
about to be all season long.
Right. So
he's gonna be delivering pizza, running through the airport, all kinds of shit. DK so fast.
Right. I think in this one thing that Charles always, I think he kind of said before, there has to be some out of the box thinking to get the sport where it needs to be, to elevate the sport and grow the sport in a different way. And Paul Doyle, who's putting on these track meets, he's doing a fantastic job. But now we need the big corporate sponsors to get behind him and bring it back to the way it was in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s when Maurice Green and them was running the earth, and there was money, and stadiums was filled and things of that nature. So we'll see what happens, man. They got.
So, I'll give you an example. Well, what do most people in this country define as fast? Like, what's the event that people like? Oh, they fast.
The 100-meter, right?
Well, that's in our world, but in America, it's the 40-yard dash, right?
Right.
Yeah, you've been saying this for years that you're saying like you would always say that their form is terrible, their starts are terrible. So what you are saying is they should be running faster than what they're running.
Oh, well, they could be if they were trained in theory, but here's the most interesting thing that happened this year around that particular narrative. At the ATL series meet in Jacksonville, Florida, a few weeks ago, Paul Doyle, the meet promoters, set up a 40-yard dash finish line amidst the 100 meters. And what happened was the top 5 women all outperformed, ran faster than the average of wide receivers in the combine, cornerbacks in the combine, running backs in the combine, all the skill positions. Mm-hmm. The elite sprint women are faster than those dudes.
Well, I saw them doing that for the hurdles too.
Yeah. And that
in the hurdles, you definitely don't go you fast.
Like, that's the way you get attention on.
Well, who's making these decisions? who's the upper people? Are these track people or are these business people?
Both. It depends. It depends on, because like I said, the ATL series is privately owned. That's Paul Doyle's thing. The Diamond Leagues are privately owned. Those are individual.
So you're like
races.
boxing. You got too many promoters or too many. You know what I'm saying?
That's a decent analogy. That's a decent analogy. Track, most professional world of track and field most closely resembles the way golf works. You, as an individual athlete, can be paid directly by a shoe company. Like, for instance, Tiger Woods is Nike. You have Nike track athletes, right? And they garner a salary. But the other way that they get paid is they go to an event, play the game, and then, your winner gets a big check and so forth down there. The difference is when Tiger Woods wins an event, he gets millions. And when you win an event in track and field, you get $10,000. So,
what does last place get?
$1,000.
Who pays for them to get there? You getting to your own places, or they bringing you there? Okay.
No, the meat promoters pay to get you there, but still, like that's not even remotely comparable.
I was like, I could buy some shoes with that $1,000. That's about it.
If you lucky.
Wow, right.
Well, being that you two are excellent coaches in my judgments from seeing you over the years, what do you guys think about today's athlete versus when you were coming up, and the way you guys were coached and the way you guys have to coach athletes now? Is it different? Is it the same? Are you guys the old guard or are you the new guard?
Oh, Charles, you can go first, bro.
Is that a loaded question?
A little bit. I don't think either of us qualify as the old or the new guard. I think at this point in our careers, we're right there in the middle.
That's mid guard.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing NCAA stuff for 16 years now, and so at one point, I was
like the old guard to me.
Well, there's people that's been in their 40, so definitely not. At one point, I was the youngest head coach in the country. That would no longer be the case. When I was a head coach, the difference, man. Okay, so when I was raised in the sport as, a high school athlete, a junior high athlete, even a collegiate athlete, we were just tougher. The whole thing was tougher. Like the way, you had to handle adversity, you just kind of had to handle it. Like I couldn't run off to, administrator X or sports psychology Y and talk about my feelings. And let me be clear, those things are important, right? But in the world of sport now, everything is catered around people's feelings, and a lot of it gets lost in the shuffle. We can't even have, real conversations about people's performances oftentimes because, you can get yourself in trouble and say something that's going to have you sitting in an office somewhere. So it's become a lot more sanitized, and the performances are going up. So at the end of the day, people can make a very valid case to say, well, maybe doing it this way is a piece of leading to those performances. And I'm sure there's a big part of that that's real. But yeah, it's a lot more structured now than it used to be. And it's not nearly as hardcore, not nearly as tough as it used to be.
He pretty much said everything and hit the nail on the head. Like my screen name says, man, I'm from a different era, man. Like
the 80s.
No. No. But
broken glass everywhere.
There was a time where the team would police themselves without the coach having to tell them. And when I was working for Charles had to reiterate, hey, listen, you all have to police yourselves because we're not going to be around all the time. And coaches never get to tell us that. You know, and they never told us that when I was coming up, we policed ourselves. And, you know, the complainers was the minimum ones. And by the third week of practice, yo, they were going like we ran them off the team. But now everybody is scared to tell everybody the truth because they don't want to get into fights or whatever the case may be. Or my favorite one, I ain't no snitch.
Hey man,
you know, whatever. It's you know, it's just different, but we gotta adjust. We gotta adapt. You know, I think the recruiting process is gonna have to be a little bit more straightforward instead of trying to tell them what they want to hear. You know, we need to give them the facts. Like, look, this is what you're gonna walk into, and if you can't handle how I do things, then guess what? This is not gonna be the school for you. And if you lose that quote unquote stud, then okay, let them go someplace where they can just get away with whatever and be pampered. But, you know, I don't want coaches to lose who they are, you know, just because they're scared that a kid is going to go run and tell the AD that you held them to a standard. Because that's what it's come to. Like, they're running to these ADs because we're holding them to a standard, and the dreaded A word, we're holding them accountable for their actions. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll give you a really simple example of how things used to be versus how they are now. And Lamont will end up laughing at this because he knows this is dead true. When I was a freshman at UCLA, I graduated from South Carolina. I'm a Gamecock. I transferred. But when I was a freshman at UCLA, my coach, John Smith, who is still working in our profession today with, you know, the premier elite athletes in the world, we flew to the Bay Area for the Pac-10 championships. We got the rental vans. John threw me the keys because I'm from the Bay and was like, Chuck, you drive. If I even thought about doing that today,
he didn't know better.
I'd be fired in an hour if I handed some keys to an 18-year-old adult. But if I did that, I'd be fired in a heartbeat. So that's what I mean. Like there's so much more structure. There's so much more oversight. There's so much more accountability goes across the board, right? And the truth of the matter is athletes, at least at the collegiate level, athletes have a lot more rights, or their rights are a lot more recognized today than they used to be. And I'm for that. I think that's a good thing. However, when you give people access to, you know, when you make them aware of what they can and cannot do, there's always going to be a pocket of people. You give them a cookie, they want 10. You give them an inch, they're going to take a foot. So like for, you know, one of the big debates of our time is, should college athletes be paid? Yes, I think they should be paid. But how you do it and where it lands, that's the, you know, the sausage making that no one really wants to entertain.
Mm-hmm.
So now that college students are going to be able to be paid, make money off their own likeness,
Kinda.
How does that trickle down the track? Like,
see, and that's where everyone gets everything confused because people keep making it out to be football and basketball only. Everyone's going to be afforded that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So I have no problem with them making money if they create some kind of YouTube content. I have no problem with that. I got a problem with people wanting the school to shell out money, because that would have opened up a whole nother can. Okay, that would open up a whole nother problem. So we know where the most of the money has been going to, and that would have been a problem. So I have no problem with them doing XYZ as long as they understand that you have a priority, and the priority is school and this team. Okay, whatever you do when we're not competing, that's on you. Whatever you do when you're in the hotel, as long as you're not up to 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning doing whatever, and you got to run at 11, whatever you do making money, cool. Because I'm making my money, you're going to make your money. I got no problem with it. I have no problem with it.
So
okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait.
Let me try to answer your question, though. Let me try to answer your question. Because you asked, how's it going to trickle down to track and field? The reality is it's not. The reality is that if the name, image, and likeness laws actually go into effect the way that they're meant to go into effect, what it's going to do for track and field is create a hell of a lot of delusion. And delusion leads to bad choices. and this is the issue. So
I have one of those bad choices that I want to ask you about.
Okay.
Okay. Now, feel free to not answer this question because, like I said, we ain't trying to get nobody fired. But what's the quickest way young people are making money right now? The quickest way.
TikTok.
No, bro.
OnlyFans. Okay, so OnlyFans
for sure.
I could see a world where if you tell college students they can make money off their own likeness, them starting an OnlyFans, and how is that going to become a problem?
Oh, I mean, listen, I'm sure.
Comment.
No, I'm sure it would, but these are the type of discussions or like, you know, you bring up OnlyFans and most people are laugh and think it's funny. It's actually
I'm dead ass serious.
No, yeah, absolutely. So like, one, that's already happening. Don't think right now that there aren't college athletes right now with OnlyFans accounts, because
I know, and it don't stop at college.
Right. Exactly. Right. So that kind of thing is a very real thing. And the crazy thing is, technically right now, if I was a college athlete and I started an OnlyFans account right now, I'd be in violation of NCAA rules. But 2 years from now, in the state of California, I'd be free and clear to do whatever I wanted. Now, if Lamont is my head coach and his team rules have some kind of whatever.
I was thinking there's got to be some kind of clause in there.
Clause in the team rules where it's like disrespectful, you know, image of the team, blah, blah, blah. I chose to sign those rules, so I'm now choosing to break that contract that I have with my team. That could be a way to get myself in trouble. But here's the cold part. All this NIL stuff is definitely not settled in any part of the country. So, for example, the example I just gave you, in California, I'd be free and clear. The law that Georgia just passed, if I make $100,000 off of OnlyFans, the school gets to take 75% of it and redistribute it any way that they want to.
Yep.
Wait, so now the school's redistributing OnlyFans money?
Yeah.
The school, the state of Georgia passed the law that said if athletes make money off of their name, image, and likeness, the school has the right to take 75% of it and redistribute it as they see fit.
Yep. What you thought?
What you 75%? That's
hey, what y'all thought? You thought y'all was gonna let y'all ball out of control?
So, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting here like, look, when I read that, my first instinct was, wow, that's really, really interesting, because the state of Georgia is still run. You know, the governor's a Republican. The Republicans control the laws, right? So I'm like, the Republicans in Georgia have no problem with redistribution of wealth all of a sudden, as long as
it's to them.
Of black athletes.
Yeah,
right.
I'm like, well, that's interesting. That was a 180. I thought we hated redistribution of wealth. So none of this is settled. It's all getting worked out. Every state got different laws. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be.
My recommendation is all athletes. I can say this: keep your OnlyFans private. I mean, don't put it out there. Don't put it out there.
Oh my god!
I'm saying I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble.
Listen, man,
I want everybody to have some money.
Listen, I'm not even going down that path.
I know, and I told you y'all had out on that one because I knew it could get messy. We do that over here sometimes.
It's a very real part of current society.
It is a very real, yes.
TikTok is the same way. Like
stripping is the same way.
I don't understand.
There is a girl who I'm not going to mention the name of the school. There is a young girl right now who is an alum of a specific institution that was while in her senior year, and it rolled over into her post college life, and it
put it in the chat. I got a private chat.
Listen. I don't want money that bad to where I'm putting things on the internet that's gonna stay there forever. You know, I was telling somebody this the other day. Back when we was growing up, we had to be creative when we were snapping on each other. Now these kids
can't say nothing.
I can go right. Your mama on Pornhub. You know, now, right? Like it's crazy. Like nobody's thinking about the long-term damage that's happening to the younger kids. You know, because they're gonna be parents, man. Like no one's thinking about that. So
they're gonna be grandparents, and that OnlyFans account still gonna be live.
it's still going to be around. And like I said, you can't delete nothing. Everything is on the internet. Everything is in the stratosphere forever. So you can't delete nothing, man. So y'all got to think before y'all do things, man. Be careful.
All right, I got one more question about coaching.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so me being an outsider looking at coaching in all sports, I always see the athlete is always allowed to talk shit about the coach. They can say anything to anybody about the coach, but coaches can't do that the other way around. So who do y'all vent to when you're dealing with somebody in a situation and you know it's the opposite of how it may be perceived with what the athlete is saying, or having a terrible athlete, or just a problem child? Who do y'all talk to?
Coaches vent to other coaches and their significant others.
Right. But if you really know that man up there in that other box, which this way, that way, right, dude, he gonna tell you what it is right there. I've seen him do it. So they can sit back and try to. There's always going to be respect level there. One thing I do, because I've had kids that try to cross that line. I established that line from the jump. Don't cross that line with me. Now, if you want to come have a conversation with me in my office, cool. But we're not doing that because I'm not going to do that to you. You know, and I think that's what you have to establish from day one when you start a new year with a new class. And if you got to get rid of the rat poison that's in your organization or your team, whatever the case may be, then you got to get rid of them because you don't want that. You don't want the younger class being manipulated and thinking they can do what the upperclassmen is doing. You know what I'm saying? So, but as for venting, significant other coaches, you know, and that's about it.
And just hold it in and make your hair.
I mean, I've always tried to establish. This is something I used to tell Lamont down there back in the day. If you have a proper rapport with your kids, if you have a proper reciprocal respect level between coach and athlete, right, you can say what you want. You really can. You can tell people the truth in the moment and they will respect it and they will listen. There's a difference between me telling you the truth and me being disrespectful. Like, I can have harsh conversations. I can have hard conversations with my men, with my women. I've done it. Yeah, and you can do it. You can do it. But you also have to know your audience. If I have two different athletes, I need to know how to reach number one versus how to reach number two. I've had kids that need me in their face in order to get a proper response. And then I have people who, if I got in their face even one time, they're going to have a breakdown and probably never recover from it. So your job as a coach is to know your audience and know how to communicate. You know,
Kwame Brown. Then you have Kwame Brown making videos about you in 20 years, trying to fight you because you look like Matt Barnes.
Listen,
ain't nobody stunting Kwame Brown.
Right. I'm gonna keep it 100. One of the biggest issues I had coming into the profession, and Charles would get on me about this all the time. Like, I dealt with the women different on how I dealt with the men. And he used to hate when I say this. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to talk to women like the way you talk to women because I want to keep my job. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guys, I'm going in on them. You know, but he was like, dude, the guys are softer than the women. Women can take it. And then he probably won't know about this, but there was a moment where he was in the office. He couldn't get out to practice. And I don't think I ever told you about this, but Bree and Dom was like, Coach, why you deal with the men differently than you deal with us? So what do you mean? I did what y'all saying. I know you don't. You be jumping on them. You don't get on us like that. I say, cause y'all women. I ain't trying to say nothing. Y'all run back to the AD like, dude, we have, and they called me out on it once. So I had to. I'm still feeling my way around on how to deal with female athletes. That was my fault that I didn't take the moment to really understand how the female athlete worked at that time. And I give Charles his credit. He tried to break me out of that. You know what I'm saying? And as I got older in the profession, I started to understand it more and more. as I moved on to different places and stuff like that. So, you know,
I've been doing this a long time. High school level, collegiate level, professional level. The 10 toughest athletes I've ever had are all women. All of them. And that's and I want to be really clear about that. Like no one, regardless of gender, should be disrespectful to anybody. Athletes shouldn't disrespect their coaches. Coaches shouldn't disrespect their athletes. But that doesn't mean hard conversations aren't going to be necessary and need to happen. And if I temper my level of reality with the girls because they're girls, well, that's a level of disrespect that they don't deserve.
Well, why do you think that is that the women or girls were harder than the men? What do you think? Where does that come from?
Bro, I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that of the world in reality. I mean, women in general are tougher than men. I mean, you could pick any numerous example you want. Ain't not one of us on this panel right now are even remotely interested in giving birth. Okay.
No, I mean, that's an easy one. That's a layup.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I'm just saying, women are strong and they need to be treated that way. And when necessary, if there's a difficult conversation that you have to have with a female athlete, don't not have it because they're a female. Like that's not respecting the work that they're doing. And so, you know, I try to treat everybody the same way and hold everybody to the same standard. And everybody knows I'm going to be straight up with them.
And me, I'm still getting better, and I'm learning every year. And you know, I had to take a step back, and I had to pick up the phone, and I had to apologize to some of my returners and some of my upperclassmen about the mistakes that I made as a head coach. And you know, I recognize my fault, and you know, I know coming into this year we're gonna be better. And you know, those kids really appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? I called one of my hitters, and I was like, "Baby girl, you called me out on something last year." And she's like, "I did." And she said, "And I had to," because she said, "I know who you are, and I just want you to be consistent with that one particular thing." I said, "No doubt." So, you know, the women have not only given me everything that I got in this profession, but they also are the ones that's willing to step to me and say, "Yo, coach, that's not how we doing this." So I gotta give my female athletes, they know who they are. I gotta give my female athletes a lot of praise right now because they
shout
really,
out to y'all. Y'all know who you are. God
right.
damn it. Y'all gonna have a hell of a year next year. So with the Olympics coming up, first of all, 2021 Olympics, or are they going with 2020? Because I see Nike is pushing all 2020 Olympic stuff out there.
It's 2020. What are we calling it? It's 2021.
Calling it 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
With track coming out, who's the fastest man in the world right now? Because I don't know.
Okay.
Fastest man in the world.
I know who the fastest woman in the world is. Jamaica, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, I mean, the fastest man in the world right now is Trayvon Bromell, a Floridian who trains in Florida. Coming back from a lot of injuries, he went to Baylor. He was the NCAA champion. Almost lost his career due to what I believe was an Achilles issue a few years ago. And you know, he's a former bronze medalist from Rio in the 100-meter dash. So the kid is super talented, always has been, but he's healthy and he is number one in the world right now. Now, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price is number one, or was number one in the world till about 3 hours ago.
What happened? I just seen her run some crazy time.
Yeah,
I don't get the track channel. I don't get the track channel.
But
Blessing, telling me where this is at.
Blessing Okenbare, a Nigerian athlete, officially took that time away from her. Ran 10:62 today in Nigeria. So as of a couple hours ago, Shelly Ann is number 2 in the world.
And Trayvon and Blessing have the same coach, and they train in the same camp.
This is true.
Down in Jacksonville.
So they doing something different out there. They out there fast.
Yeah.
So that's who we need to be looking for.
Well, I mean,
What about Gatlin?
Justin's in the mix.
I call
mean,
Gatlin Old Faithful because I know he gonna be in the Olympics like every 20 years, right?
Look, so my podcast partners, they're volunteer alums. They are University of Tennessee alums, and one of them happened to be teammates with Gatlin. And Gatlin will periodically pop up on our show. And the last time he was on the show, I told him that I felt that he got 2 bullets left in the chamber and he need to be careful. And people was up in arms about it, this and the third. And it wasn't a shot at him. Like, dude, Father Time, it has the sickest sense of humor in the world. He'll tap you on your shoulder, then he'll kick you in your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, all right, time for you to sit down. You know, he's 39. Like, people got to remember he is 39. Now, bless that man's heart, he's never been injured, which is miraculous. Like, he's never.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, how I get hurt?
Never had an injury.
Looking at my phone.
Like, he's had injuries. He's had injuries. He just hasn't had anything serious that's caused.
Right. Okay. Right.
He's LeBron.
Something where he had to lose, where he had to miss the season. You know, so you know, him being 39, he has to be mindful on how he race. You know, running 3 rounds, whatever the case may be, you know, hey, that takes its toll on you, man. You know, but
okay, wait. Listen, now, Arrow, you just got to put the man on the spot. This is very, very simple for your people that don't understand anything about our sport and how it goes. In order to make the Olympic team, the men's 100-meter dash is this weekend. The prelims are on Saturday. The semifinals and the finals are on Sunday. Lamont, are you telling me right here that there are 3 human beings that are going to take a spot away from Justin Gatlin?
No, I said on my show yesterday. I said on my show yesterday that Gatlin's going to get 3rd.
So 3 people go.
So 3. That's it. Don't matter. Trayvon Bromell has the number 1 time in the world. None of that matters. Come Saturday, you have to be 1st, 2nd, or 3rd on that day. Your time don't mean nothing. If you're not 1, 2, 3 on that day, you're done. And that's why the American trials are the hardest track meet on the planet. That's why we have the highest standard. Right. The Olympic trial, the American Olympic trials are more difficult than the Olympics. It just are.
It really is now, because before there was this dude down in Jamaica who nobody wanted to see. Like, you didn't want to see him. Let that man let.
When your whole everything is coming down to this weekend, and like it's all on your body, how do you move around? Like, do you take extra precaution, like when getting out the car or walking in somewhere, walking down steps? Like, I would be like, nah, we ain't doing stairs, we ain't doing none of that.
I mean, smart people should, because trust me, there's always something dumb that happens. Yeah, always. Okay. I've literally seen people break an ankle stepping on a rail. Like, I've seen it.
Mateo Mitchell broke his leg at the Olympics and ran with a broken leg. Quincy Watts, there was a story about Quincy Watts fell in the bathtub and hit his back on something. It's like food poisoning. Michael Johnson food poisoning. There was like there's so many things that can happen that's quirky, but then you do have some people who are clumsy. And so you really want to make sure they're not doing anything that they're not supposed to do.
Look, I'll be straight up. Like, I'm here in Eugene, Oregon. I have an athlete in the meet. We at an Airbnb. Why? Because there's too much nonsense that goes on at the hotels.
Right.
We at the Airbnb. That means she can eat what the hell she want to eat. She can cook what she needs to cook.
Yep.
I don't let her carry anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like bubble wrap.
No, she carries nothing.
No injuries.
She carries absolutely nothing. Right. Like, is that overkill? Probably. But you know what? It makes my sense of peace. You know,
I'm worried for you. Like, I'm worried right now. I'm like, what's she doing now? Hey, sit down somewhere. Hey, put feet up. Everything. Stay in the house. God damn. Now I'm worried. Got my nerves up.
Right.
Well, shit. All right, with all that out the way, since this is both of you's first time on the podcast, we like to do a little get to know you segment. where I ask you a few questions, rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid fire. I don't know if you've seen the show before, but answer the question to the best of your ability. Mm-hmm. Remember, don't get fired. I don't think there's anything on here that'll get you fired. I just want to put that out there. If there's something you can't answer, I understand. All right. So both of y'all answer them. Just jump in and answer when you can. Mm-hmm. All right. Question number 1. What's the first thing you think of, think about, or do when you wake up?
Go to the bathroom.
I watch the news in the morning.
All right.
I literally wake up and put on the news. That's what I do.
My routine, I get up, go to the bathroom, and then turn on first thing first.
Oh, you're a goddamn Shannon guy.
First things first, undisputed, and then. But if it depends on what time I wake up, I will literally turn on Morning Joe, because Joe Scarborough be having me in tears because he gives no F's whatsoever. I watch his show, and then I just go back and forth between the 3 shows.
All right, but I asked you for the first thing, so we ain't asked you what you was doing at 9 o'clock. God damn, you went hella hours. What's the last thing you do?
Ain't nothing rapid about your segment right now.
I know this one. He's like, well, around 8, I watch first thing first. Around 9,
my bad, man.
Undisputed. All right, what's the last thing you do or think about before going to sleep?
Call the missus.
Honestly, the last thing I do before I, consciously choose to go to sleep is I try to review, whatever progress I made or didn't make that day.
No, you don't.
That's why you're successful.
He on Facebook bullying people. That's what he does.
That not before I go to sleep.
He said that ain't the last thing.
You asked me the last thing I do.
Okay, motherfucker, rapid questions. God damn. Y'all niggas. Y'all supposed to be fast.
I'm fast. I'm fast. My answer's quick. I'm good.
All right, hot or cold?
Hot.
What, in general?
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Hot, all right. If you were stuck on an island for a year, what's the 3 albums you would take with you to listen to?
Oh, yeah. Only Built for Cuban Links. Dude, this new DMX album go hard, yo. So I'm gonna have to put that one in there. And
you taking Exodus for a year?
Yeah, I'm taking Exodus. I like that album. And
must be sex.
I'm taking. I'm taking Paid in Full.
So you ain't taking no women with you on the island. Hey, Chad, what you doing?
Anything by Prince will do just fine by me.
Nah, don't say anything. You ain't going three eyeglasses Prince, 3 sunglasses Prince. Not that dude.
Any Prince album is fine by me. Asking me to pick the best of them is not gonna happen. So anything by Prince, Jesus, albums?
3 albums. You've had your whole life to go over this.
Yeah, I know. And I'm trying to think of something I like from start to finish like that.
Keep the Sneak.
Hell no. Keith ain't got no albums. Everybody know that. This is E40 neither. Ain't no albums. You know what?
Wait a minute. We ain't doing the E40 slander. He killed the verses. I don't want no problem. I got a lot of Bay Area people watching podcasts.
I'll take Damn by Kendrick.
Okay. One more.
Bob Marley.
All right. What's your favorite pair of shoes of all time?
Oh, that's easy. All white K-Swiss.
I knew you was finna say that. I'm like, this man is perpetually stuck in 1998.
All white K's, baby. I'm a Cali boy.
Dude, you already know my favorite infrared 6s.
Yeah, lie. Wheat Tims.
Nah. You can't walk it, man. For real. He's thinking about it too. He's like,
look.
Like, well,
Wheat Tims,
Nah, the infrared sixes, man. Infrared sixes, the black ones.
All right. What's your favorite cereal of all time?
Crunchberry.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Just straight Crunchberry? You ain't mixing
Straight Crunchberry.
no yellow, just all berries. Do you
Straight
take out the
Crunchberry.
shit?
Yep,
Right.
I sure did when I was younger.
Honey Nut Cheerios, dog. What you mean?
What you mean? I'm asking the questions. They don't know the answers.
I mean, everybody should know that.
Ass or titties?
Whoa.
It's a general question.
Oh, next question.
That's gonna get you in trouble.
Next question, bro.
Same.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
They like we track athletes. We like a good back. Ready? The thighs. Yeah. No. All right. Moving on. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I want to be invisible.
And that's just how you know that ultimately at his core he's just mischievous. That's all you need to know.
Exactly.
That's all you need to know.
Man.
The only there's only one answer to this. The only true superpower that would lead to any other thing is mind reading.
I would say mind manipulation. What is it? Putting a thought in somebody's head. Make me Dr. Xavier. I
don't need to be Inception. I'm
WandaVision.
Just the ability to read people's thoughts will lead me to any other superpower I want.
All right, what's the worst job you ever had?
Whoo!
I know.
All right, so
worst job I ever had?
So because I love the sport that I'm in, I'm going to remove the sport. The
That's
worst job.
idea. Don't burn no bridges.
The worst job I had was I was overnight stock at a supermarket. That was the
You want to name the supermarket? What supermarket is it?
Pathmark.
It was the Bodega. It was in Brooklyn. What part of New York you from?
The Bronx.
Okay, hey, you're
BX, man. And everybody, New York is not Brooklyn. Okay, Brooklyn is over
I
there.
ain't say Brooklyn. Hey.
Brooklyn dudes is weird. Right?
This is interesting. Honestly, the worst job I ever had, it probably wasn't the physical worst, but it made me the most upset by far. The worst job I ever had was UPS. I was
a UPS man?
I worked UPS.
Wait. You wore the brown suit?
No.
Man, walking around looking naked.
No. Let me say something to you. If the delivery people, they make bread, I would have happily done that. No, sir. I was a loader and an unloader at UPS for a year and a half in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I assure you it was the worst thing ever.
Hey, they be stealing boxes at UPS?
Huh?
They be stealing boxes at UPS?
I never saw nothing like that.
You got a pair of sneakers taken?
Hey.
Hey, I
know what it is.
I can tell you some stories, but you said rapid fire, so that's the
rapid fire. All right. What's your favorite sports team?
Here we go.
I don't do teams. I root for players and coaches.
Man, come on, man. You gotta have a team.
Stop it. The organizations don't care about the fans. They have no loyalty to you. There's no sense in you.
Neither do the athletes.
Okay, and for those specific athletes, I don't usually rock with them. I root for players.
You don't have a favorite sports team on nothing like soccer. You look like you like some international soccer or something.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right.
There's no.
Who's your favorite? We'll change the question for the man who doesn't like any sports team. Who's your favorite athlete all time? Any sport?
All time?
Dead or alive?
I mean, my favorite athlete of all time is Tiana Bartoletta.
Hey, shout out to Tiana Bartoletta.
Bo Jackson.
And if you haven't already,
yes, sir.
Go get that.
Up there.
Yes. Survive and advance. Quick plug. Somebody got to pay me for that. All right, Mike, what you got?
Yes. Bo Jackson.
Just hands down, Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
He went to a rival school.
No, he ain't
That's
my
an
rival school.
Auburn guy. It's an Auburn guy.
That's all right.
There's
That's
no
all right.
rival.
He ran
Iowa
track.
State.
Listen, he ran track.
Iowa State. Ain't no rivals.
He ran track. He played football and he played baseball. And I did all three coming up.
Baseball, track, and football.
Yes.
All right. No basketball?
Oh, no. But my favorite basketball no, my favorite basketball team is, even though they no longer exist, Seattle Supersonics.
Okay. Favorite team. Thank you for answering the question with a favorite team. God.
Bro, you want me to be honest? You know I don't have no teams. I rock with no teams.
I know the world is bigger than track and field.
Mm-hmm.
And did either one of you guys happen to catch the verses from last night?
Trina versus
Eve.
Ooh,
Battle of the female MCs with long hair.
Look, first of all,
tattoos.
neither one of them got long hair. Let's be real.
Now that we're not doing that. We are empowering the ladies.
Listen, let me tell you something about you want to talk about verses. When the verses thing first started, I was into it for about 30 seconds because the way it was advertised was I was going to watch artist A and artist B like battle. All verses is them sitting there lip singing their greatest hits. It's not a contest. So I'm not interested in any of the verses. And the only one that I ever really watched that was any good was the Bay Area. E40 and Too Short, and that's pure nostalgia. So I didn't see last night.
Well, that's all the verses. They just put Eve and Trina.
Right.
I don't know who won, but it ain't no battle. It's not a contest. So I'm like, what are we watching?
It's a battle of the catalogs. Like some of them verses was dope. Like the one with Jadakiss and Fab. I don't care what anybody say. Gucci. I became a Gucci fan after that verses, even though GT killed him with hits. Like Jeezy had more hits to him than whatever. But
didn't we already know that before the verses happened?
Right.
But we didn't know. We didn't know Ashanti was going to beat Keisha Cole. I didn't see that coming. That was an upset.
Ashanti,
you know what?
How does Ashanti beat Keisha Cole in singing?
It's songs, man. It ain't singing.
Man.
Right.
Songs.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody knows Ashanti got more hits than Keisha Cole, but Ashanti can't sing and Keisha Cole can.
It's catalog versus catalog.
Ambiance of the whole verses. You got to get into it. I don't know. I didn't see Trina versus Eve. I flipped to it real quick, and then I heard Trina. She was sounding like a baby mama who just found out her baby daddy got a PPP check, and she was telling on him. That voice couldn't do it. I was like, that's enough of that. And I don't know who won. If I had to put money on it, I would pick Eve.
I'm certain that Eve has had more hits than Trina.
Eve more than likely washed her. It would have been better if Eve would have went up against Little Kim.
Well, I hope
Little Kim would curb stomp Eve.
But now part of it is what you look like while you're doing what you're doing, and
all these people old as hell. They don't look good doing it at all. Like, what you mean?
Nah. Ashanti look good. Goddamn it! I won't stop the Ashanti.
Yeah. Ashanti is a beautiful woman. Let's not do that. And Trina is still.
I'm not talking about the women per se. I'm saying all of them. They up there looking like they, gasping for air. They old.
No, dude, you do know that's what happens when the longer you alive, right? You do understand that,
and that's why I'm rooting for Justin Gatlin, because God damn it, he's doing it for us. When he runs, we run.
That's your segue.
That's what when he run, we run.
All right. Well, look, if you interested in age as it relates to the Olympic trials, here's a fun fact for you. The women's 100 meters also is going on this weekend. The women start tomorrow. Actually, the first round is tomorrow, and the final is on Saturday. The top 20 women in the United States right now are all 20 of them, 19 of them, I should say, have birth years between 1994 and 2000. All of them. except for Tiana Bartoletta, who was born in 1985. So if you rooting,
when she run, we run. So
there you
that's
go. If you
already
rooting
know
for
who
it
I'm
like
rooting
that,
for. God damn it!
if you doing the age game,
I'm not
there's
doing the
your,
age game with Tiana. That ain't the game
there's
I'm
your
running. I
horse
was
right
rooting for it before, but Justin Gatlin, when he run, we run because he got more gray hair in his head than you do. So I can, hey, this is us. This is us. So
there's
back,
a lot of things going on this weekend, man. There's a lot of things.
I'm excited. Just tell me what channel.
NBC.
I see the Bucks forced game 7. So
as they should. Now, God damn it, ain't nobody trying to go to the NBA Finals this year.
Look. I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand how bad I want Brooklyn to lose.
Okay, so here let's get into this for a second because we was talking about teams for a second. I don't have a team in this fight, but I'm gonna tell you what I'm rooting for. This is the chaos.
Yeah,
right?
I
root for chaos. I want to see nothing more than Brooklyn go down in flames, than the Clippers clip as they usually do. So right now, my best case scenario is Chris Paul against the world in the West and anybody but Brooklyn in the East. I'm rooting for
that is who I'm rooting for. The goddamn Suns this year. CP3, I hope you get it. If you can get on the goddamn court. God damn, stop partying out. Does Chris Paul have the vaccine?
Yes.
He did have the vaccine.
God damn. I seen him after the game. He went up and hugged everybody. I'm like, we just got to be moving different right now. This your first conference championship, and you out here hugging everybody.
Hey man, listen. And Charles is more versed in this than I am. Had we had better leadership in that White House over the past 4 years, I think we would have been further along than where we are.
Oh, but if you recall, Chris Paul is a Mr. It's everybody's personal decision whether they want to get a vaccination or not. No, goddamn, you need to be out there telling the people.
But listen, but he's not lying. But at the same token, you know, until you know what it's like to have lost people to that virus, because I lost an aunt and an uncle to that virus. So I look at this thing completely different. So until you know what it's like laid up in that hospital, dying, you know, I had kids on my program that caught it, and they was like, "Coach, we thought we was gonna die." It's not a game, man. All these people out here believing the nonsense, you know, the conspiracy theories,
the microchips, and all the bullshit.
It's the conspiracy. It's the white man trying to put the microchip in the black man, and like, dude, shut up.
It's up to the leaders of the league to be trying to push that this should be getting done. And LeBron and Chris Paul both punting on it and said,
"Yo,
it's a personal."
Look, I had a real conversation with an athlete of mine, and I asked him. I said, "You are against getting the vaccine?" He said, "Yeah, well, because you know that's like how he talks to. Yeah, you know, because they made it too fast." I said, "Okay." I said, if they made a vaccine to where you can have, you will never catch HIV, AIDS, any type of STD, would you go get that vaccine? Oh yeah.
Listen.
So you already know what they're gonna show what your priorities are. You know what I'm saying? You'll go get a vaccine that could allow you to risk it all, but you're not gonna get a vaccine that's gonna help. Like, it makes
look at your surroundings and look at the people who around you who got the vaccine and the people who didn't. And if the people who got the vaccine you more trust or can confide in or ask for advice, you need to be on that side of the coin and not the side of the microchip people.
Hey, listen, I thoroughly enjoyed my mental torture of the ignorant on these issues. I enjoy speaking truth to stupid. It's one of my favorite pastimes. So, you know, Chris Paul been injured every time he in the playoffs, and I find it sadly, depressingly ironic that currently he's not injured. He's just being stupid. So whether he got the vaccine or not, he clearly couldn't just, leave the game and go home.
Go home. You ain't got to hug anybody,
Oh.
man. There's still games to be played. The job is not done. Mission is not accomplished. Sit your ass down somewhere. God damn it.
Right.
So I'm rolling with Phoenix. I'm rolling. I've always liked Chris Paul. I think he's a hell of a player. So that is my horse currently. Because I will not root for the Three Stooges. The Three Stooges in Brooklyn, I will not do it.
I want Chris Paul to get a ring before James Harden. Everything about him and the way he look just irritates me, yo. Like, I can't deal with him. I
can't be rooting against a man because he ain't cute enough. God damn.
Dude, bro, it just his game, I just don't like it. Like, I don't
okay. It. Well, with his game, I'll go with you on that one.
Like him
the
and
whole
Giannis,
jumping and kicking and falling.
Right. And now I'm glad the NBA is pulling that out of the league next year.
We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it.
They need to, because Ice Trey is going to be irrelevant afterwards. Because
you see his move.
Yeah,
he's like, come back. He's just going to back his ass into you.
Right.
And that's a foul. But, I don't know. You know, I light skin. You know, light skins. They play different. Live on the news wire. This has just popped up. Lala Anthony files for divorce from Carmelo.
Yes,
wasn't they already divorced?
Nah, they was,
this is
separated.
New?
This ain't new, but it's new.
I thought Lala been single.
Nah, she popped them papers, but Lala got a new ass, and I think that has something to do with it. If you watch The Shy, they be focusing on Lala's ass in every episode, so it's got to be new. They got a vested interest in it.
So celebrity divorces
what you talking about?
Celebrity divorces are expensive. You
saying Lala got it? She done sold her ass to Showtime to pay for the divorce. Melo got to pay for this divorce.
I mean, Melo.
Lala needs to pay for some acting classes. Melo got to pay for the divorce.
I mean, she gonna get half and move on. Like that's how it is.
It's a sad day. It's a goddamn sad day. A damn travesty. We should all bow our heads today.
Listen, let me say this.
Hug your loved ones a little tighter today.
Now, let me say this though, for real, because people like to go in on these celebrity divorces things, right? Like, Lala had a real career. Lala was relevant on her own. It's not like her whole existence is Carmelo Anthony's wife.
Right.
Like, Lala was very relevant before Carmelo ever came around. So
it was when they got together, it was like Melo got together with Lala.
Pretty much.
I mean, hey.
All I'm gonna say is she stayed while he was starting. That's all I'm gonna say. He was in the starting lineup. She was on the team. We don't know where Melo will be playing next year.
He'll be in the Lakers with Bron in the
No. We already turned Melo down twice.
No,
it will not be a third time.
Look,
here's one I thought Lamont
I'm not even a Lakers fan. What's up?
Would enjoy. All right, Black Twitter petitions to cancel Destiny's Child 17 years later because it's a slave song. The song catered to you. It's a slave song, and women are bothered by it. Have they gone too far? This is why I don't fuck with Black Twitter sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Where does it stop? If you can go back 17 years to a song that
ain't nobody even caring about that.
That ladies like.
It's a dope song, and I ain't never heard no woman out there talking about that. That's probably some Vladimir Putin.
Nah, this is real Black Twitter. But here's the thing about Twitter. Twitter don't matter for shit. Majority of people ain't on Twitter. Ask your mama if she tweets, and then she tell you no, people ain't on Twitter. Twitter is a mess.
That's irrelevant, man.
It's a lot of bots.
If you want a real answer to this question, it's very simple.
I only want the real answers.
No, I mean it's very simple for me. Just because something was appropriate 15, 20, 25 years ago, times change, times evolve. It may not be appropriate today. And that's cool. I don't have an issue with that. But it doesn't mean that we have to go remove or scrub or, reproduce, the art from past years. Now, I have no problem with the cancellation of R. Kelly. You know, he's a child molester. Cancel all of his stuff. I have
Even
no
the music.
problem. I have no problem with the cancellation of a Bill Cosby. He's a rapist. Cancel all his stuff. But
Can we watch the Cosby Show?
I mean, you can
My
watch
kids
it.
love the Cosby Show. They don't know
You
nothing
can
of
watch it.
Bill Cosby. They watching it like we watched it without knowing
Yeah.
that Bill
Okay,
Cosby
so
was putting people to sleep.
here's a real question. Here's a real question for that. It's a real issue.
Dr. Huxtable ain't never put nobody out. He delivered babies.
All that is true, but this is an honest question that I don't actually know the answer to, but this is because I don't know the answer, I choose what I choose. Is Bill Cosby making money currently off your kids watching the Cosby Show? If he is, I would say cut it.
I don't know if he is, but Theo is, and Sandra is, and I know Sandra need a check because I ain't seen her on nothing. And Elvin, he was working at the goddamn like Home Depot or something, so he needs the check too. These people
all
worked
fair.
hard during them years, and they all deserve the check. Now, if Bill's money has to go to pay the women that he abused, isn't that a good thing? Shouldn't he continue to make money to make those payments?
Good thing if that was happening.
I think that's happening. That's how it should happen. I mean, the world works the way it should.
I'm cool with that. I don't have an issue with that. But no, like I said, like one of my favorite movies growing up was The Breakfast Club. I watched The Breakfast Club like 2 days ago.
I've never seen The Breakfast Club.
Oh, you tripping. You got to go watch The Breakfast Club. But you probably couldn't make The Breakfast Club today without it getting shut down because a lot of the content is just outside the box of acceptable standards of the current culture. And that's okay. But The Breakfast Club is still a phenomenal movie.
Things that were made years ago should not be canceled today, and I'll give you a prime example. My son he likes watching 80s movies. He likes watching stuff that I watched. And he watched Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf yesterday. Teen Wolf, rated PG. In Teen Wolf, they say the word that cannot be said about gay people 3 times. The F word. Can't say it. They say it 3 times. There's weed in Teen Wolf. There's 7 Minutes in Heaven in Teen Wolf, and it's rated PG.
Yeah, that
movie couldn't be made today.
Maybe rated R today for sure.
It's crazy. I'm like, how do people not know about this? I'm surprised Michael J. Fox hasn't got canceled yet. Eddie Murphy's Raw should never be canceled.
I was just about to say that Raw and Delirious.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Murphy, Raw and Delirious are some of the all-time greatest stand-up performances ever.
Movies of their time.
It was funny then, and because I grew up when I grew up,
it's funny now.
Raw and Delirious, and it's still funny. But if I was 16 years old today and saw that, I might be offended.
You wouldn't believe it. They would try to cancel Eddie Murphy. They did try to cancel Eddie Murphy a couple years ago.
It ain't working. We ain't having.
Can't cancel Eddie Murphy. Cancel some of the movies after 1997, but you can't cancel Eddie.
You can cancel the movies for sure. Once Eddie Murphy started trying to entertain the children and not the adults, his acting career.
He tried to entertain his children.
Whatever.
Now, I'm okay with that.
I'm sorry, but Norbert was funny.
Nah, bro. No. What do you think about Coming to America 2?
Never, haven't seen it.
It's bad. And it's got awful. I watched it one time. I'll never watch it again.
I didn't even finish. It's awful.
Eddie Murphy's still one of my favorite celebrities of all time, especially.
I still haven't seen Judas and the Black Messiah, and I refuse to watch that because I'm not going to be triggered.
Bugging. You need to see that.
I'm not about to be triggered, bro. Listen, I'm not about to be triggered.
It's a great movie.
One day, my simple self sat back and I sat back and I watched Mississippi Burning and A Time to Kill back to back, and I was triggered all day.
Yeah, you had too much. Those are triggering movies.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know what I was thinking.
I told you got to see that, and then you also you got to see the Nate Parker.
I seen that one right when it dropped. I even bought it. That one right there. I was triggered for about 3 days. I'm good.
That's what good art is supposed to do. It's supposed to inspire emotion.
Nah, bro, and land me in jail, dude. I was looking at police officers like, you know, I'm like,
It was the Negro summer. If there was ever a time. Look,
that's wild.
Before we get out of here, I just wanted to say thank you to you two. Not just for being a guest on the show, but being my motherfucking friends. Being great positive role models as black men and light-skinned men. And continuing on to think I'm trying to
the separation, that's killing me, man.
Hey, everybody needs a role model. Yeah, damn. Drake can't be the only person these kids look up to.
Wow.
look up to Team Chaos. But no, you guys are great leaders of men and women. I respect what you do. I can't believe some of the times the stuff that you go through dealing with what you do. You guys are like super parents. Like you guys got kids that will bug you at any hour of the night, and you guys are always there for them. This will not be the only times I have you on. We'll get back to some fuckery at another point in time when we can just go through all the topics and I don't have to big y'all up on how great of coaches you guys are.
You
get back to.
You're not so.
And we got the sneaker podcast too. We got a home for it right here. Or if you want to do it on your channel, we do it there. Doesn't matter. Chuck, you can't get on it because if you bring 1K Swiss and put it in the camera, you cancel it. Canceled immediately. Canceled immediately.
Hey, listen, K Swiss and Chuck.
I know.
That's all you need.
You are a man who likes to wear shoes with ankle socks. This guy right here.
Or no socks at all.
I know you like to show off the Achilles. You're like, hey. you ain't seen this an Achilles like this before. I swear it'd be the ones that don't have to put on lotion that always want to show off their goddamn Achilles.
I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, you are blessed, brother. You are well. I can't even say that to you. I know who I'm talking to. We'll get into that next time too. We will talk about all that when you don't have to wear a tie. We'll have a loose conversation where we can really get into. Get all these thoughts and get them going, because over here at the Racing Thought Podcast, we like to jump into the thoughts. That's what I always say. Dive into the thoughts head first. That is the best way to do it. Before we go, make sure you hit that like.
Given your past life, I'm gonna need you to rethink that terminology.
The slogan? What?
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to rethink that terminology. Given your past life,
all thoughts should be handled. Never mind. You know what? Just think about. I'll tell you this. Think about some shit. That's how we'll get out of this one.
There you go.
Think about some shit. Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to promote your podcast, feel free. Go ahead. If y'all want to get some real track shit, because I don't know the questions to ask. I just be asking questions of a layman.
Sure. No, if anyone's interested in the ins and outs of the track and field world, Athletics LLC is released every Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Twitter, all of that. We just drop it every Friday. And, it's
brilliant minds on that show. A lot of wisdom.
This time of year, as far as what we do in our profession, it's literally, Christmas. The U.S. Olympic trials is the greatest, sporting event there is. Our athletes are not understood or respected at the level that they should be, but don't get it twisted. There's no one in the NBA, there's no one in the NFL, there's no one in the MLB that can do what these people do. So if you are interested in the pinnacle of human performance in any regard, running, jumping, throwing, all of it, it's all going to be on display for the next 2 weeks at the highest level that there is. So NBC, U.S. Olympic trials.
And the show that I'm on, we are known as Track Check. With the most known unknowns, is 4 of us: is David Pickett, Hassan Stamps, Kyle Stevenson, and myself. We are the Bobby Browns of track and field chat. Okay,
y'all all Bobby Brown.
listen. We the ones that walk into the all white party with black clothes on. So, but we go over everything. We kind of formulate our stuff as barbershop talk, where sometimes I have to like pump the brakes on Stamps a little because he wants to go overboard.
Don't get fired.
Gotta reel him back in. But we pretty much go over we go live. We go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, And so we go live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Sometimes we'll do it on Monday based on people's schedules. We'll go live and we just sit there, we talk track, we talk about everything about the state of the sport, just different things. And both our shows, we like to give out our we give roses, Athletic LLC give our heartbeat props to those that who paved the way for us, or someone that we respect and adore that came through or still in our lives, man. So check us out. Like I said, we go live every Wednesday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and Periscope. And you never know what we gonna say, man. You never know what we gonna say, and it gets heated. It gets heated on ours a lot. So
yeah, yours is a little looser than. I don't see anybody in ties on there, but
I told you, man. We the bad boys of the track and field thing, man. Podcast, but we try to keep it within. I try to make sure we keep everything in order. If I'm keeping things in order, that's a problem.
Hey, we ain't even got it. Nah, we'll do that next time. We're gonna let your hair down, take your do-rag off, whatever it is you need to do. You could do it here, brother. But again, shout out to both of your shows. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to all the thotties. Does that work?
Yo, what is wrong with this?
That's some running thoughts. I gotta have an army. The thought army. That work? Put that on a t-shirt. Hashtag thought army.
Yo, this
you know
family.
What it is.
Yo, Charles, this your family, bro.
You right about that. You absolutely
goddamn right. Thick and thin. See me at my highest highs and my lowest lows. That is a man where I never got to worry about anything because I could just call Chuck. But that's it. That's how we'll end it. Peace out, y'all. Appreciate you.